maths is not fun? Well, I, Makwana Namreka, is here to show you that maths is just a fun challenge. It is as easy as y equals to mx plus c. And for those of you who didn't know, it is as easy as a straight line. So right now, it is the time for you to grab a paper, a pen, and a calculator and come learn maths with me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Learn Maths with me on a hashtag Maths Tuesday. In today's episode, we will be looking at angles formed on parallel lines. So we'll be looking at angles formed on parallel lines when we add a transversal. So let's get to understand what parallel lines are. So parallel lines are lines that are always the same distance apart. Parallel lines never intersect. So when we say parallel lines never intersect, we basically mean that these parallel lines never meet or cross each other. So let's look at parallel lines. So as you can see, the explanation says these parallel lines are always the same distance apart. So what it basically means is that even if these lines continue, the distance in between them will always be the same. And if they continue, there is no way they will cross one another. There is no way they will intersect. So when we have parallel lines like this and add a transversal, when we add a transversal is this line that cuts through this two parallel lines. So when we add a transversal in these parallel lines, angles are formed. As you can see, angle 1 up to angle 8 are formed, and these angles have names according to which one is equal to this one, which one matches this one, which one does this and does that. And in today's video, we are going to cover all of that. So when we have added a transversal line in between parallel lines, there are angles that are formed, which are corresponding. I'm just gonna do corresponding angles. We have alternate angles, and we have co-interior angles. And some angles like vertically opposite angles, which we've learned in the previous video, and angles around the point. But in today's video, we're going to cover these three. So when you think about angles formed on parallel lines, once you have added a transversal line, you have to think about the word fun. In some cases, take the n as z. So I'm saying you should consider the word fun because it will help you be able to find your angles. So corresponding angles form the letter F. So the angles, you'll see them here, they form the letter F. Alternate angles, they form the letter N or Z. It doesn't matter the direction. Even this F can sit like this, as long as you can see that this is an F and you can see your angles. And then co-interior angles form a U, not this U but you see them here. So corresponding angles, let's find them. So we can see that, okay, number one, corresponding angles, again now we are drawing our F. We can see that 2 and 6 are corresponding angles. 2 and 6. So what does it mean to have corresponding angles? So corresponding angles are equal. So it means that 2 and 6 are equal. So let's move on and look for the next pair of corresponding angles. So if we draw a line from 4, try to draw our F, and our line is here. You can see that we have an F. It means that 4 and 8 are equal. 4 and 8 are corresponding angles. So if they have given you a task and they have given you something like this, and they say show us angles that are equal, you're going to say 2 and 6 are equal, and then in your brackets you're going to put a reason why you are saying that they are equal. They are equal because they are corresponding angles. So in geometry you need to give a reason for your answer. So we are going to say 2 is equals to 6 because they are corresponding angles. So let's move on and look for the next pair of corresponding angles. We're going to move to this side. If you move from this line, you go up, you put your F line here. You can see that 1 is corresponding with 5, 1 and 5. Let's look for the next pair. If you move from here, you can see that 3 and 7 and 7 are corresponding angles. So in this case we have 4 pairs of corresponding angles. So if you look at this, you can see that corresponding angles are angles that they are when you want to pair 4 with its corresponding angles, you have to look below the parallel line. So as you can see, 4 is below the parallel line, it's corresponding with the angle which is below the parallel line. 2 is up the parallel line, it is corresponding with 6 as it is up the parallel line. So now let's move on to alternate angles. So alternate angles, they form a Z, or some can say an N. So let's draw our Z. If you move from 3 and until here, you can see that 6 and 3 are alternate angles. You can see this Z, they are alternate angles, so these angles are found here. So in this case, you can just say, okay, this one is crossing this one, they are alternating angles. You just jump to the next, to the other side of the transversal. But let's move on. Let's draw our another Z. If we move from this side and go this side, you can see that 4 is corresponding with 5, 4 and 5. Now let's try to look for another Z. Will we be able to find another Z? No, we won't be able to find another Z. So these are our pairs of corresponding angles. So now let's move on to co-interior angles. So co-interior angle is different from alternate and corresponding angles. Alternate and corresponding angles are always equal. So 3 equals to 6, 2 equals to 6, 8 equals to 4, and so on. But co-interior angles, they add up to 180 degrees. They add up to 180 degrees. So those co-interior angles are found inside the parallel lines. They are in between the parallel lines and the transversal. They are formed when the transversal is added. So that's why I said they form a U. So if you form a U here, you can see that 4 and 6, 4 plus 6 equals to 180 degrees. So this angle plus this angle, they equal to 180 degrees. So angle 4 plus angle 6, they equal to 180 degrees. So this means that they are supplementary angles. Remember in the previous video we said supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Now let's look for another pair of co-interior angles. So as you can see, we have another U. One thing about co-interior angles, they are found inside. Can you see that they are inside, interior, inside, in the middle of the parallel lines? Now we can see that angle 3 plus angle 5, they equal to 180 degrees. So let me show you other things like vertically opposite angles. So you can see that angle 1 equals to angle 4 because they are vertically opposite. Angle 2 equals to angle 3 because they are vertically opposite. Same applies to this side. And then here you can see that we have a point, and around this point there are angles. So angles around this point add up to 360 degrees. So as you can see here, we have a straight line. This is a straight line, right? And these two angles have to add up to 180 degrees. Why? Because this is a straight line, and angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees, which are called supplementary angles. So basically, just by having a mere one angle, you can be able to find the rest of the angles. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I really hope that you understood these angles and how I was explaining them. Please stay tuned for more and more videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let's continue with the conversation in the comment section. Until the next one, you guys, bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comment sections which topic you'd like me to cover. And remember, I do not promise to know everything, but I do promise to share and help where I can.